Welcome again to another issue of the BRR, the Badger and Redondo review. As always, I am joined by usual co-host Redondo. How you doing, sir?
Week 2, haven't played a game, really excited. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I'm doing great because I'm joined by a special guest, Mr. Elitist Fuck himself, aka the artist formerly known as Dark Dota. How are you doing?
Great. Excited about Redondo not playing any games. Shout out to Mr. Matthew.
Looking forward to next week's bye, mandatory bye.
Is this the topic we bring up every single week? We just yell at Matthew for giving Redondo a bye, week number 2?
My team has twice as many buys as every other team, except for one, so yes.
That said, though, I have a pretty interesting topic to start with. It is the state of the middle lane for this division. First thing I want to say, Dark, who is the best mid laner in this division?
Probably Riles.
What makes Riles such a good middle lane player?
I think he's very good at the laning phase. Particularly CSing and harassing, zoning away from creep waves. I think I won 1 lane and he won 3 whenever I played him. So he is quite good.
How do you feel about him flaming your middle lane play whenever he's on my stream?
I mean, he's gonna flame everybody because that's what he does. So don't really feel too bad about it.
I'm sure that's a two-way street, to be fair. So
yeah. I mean, every mid laner is gonna flame every other mid laner. I'm pretty sure.
Outside of Riles, though, do you think there are any other mids in the division who are better than you, Dark?
Oh, it's quite the loaded question.
a lot of silence there.
Not that I've played so far, but there's like Skip that's Smeezy's mid laner, right?
I'm pretty sure. No, he's a safe laner. They have that Treat Yourself. Oh no, yeah, Treat Yourself from Ice Yeti's team from last season as their mid laner. I know Octane has like a really high opinion of that Francesca guy who apparently is named Cosmic. Yeah, I've never played with or against him. Like,
yeah, I have no idea.
I think Michael or Mikkel. Like that. But apparently that guy's really good. I've never actually played with him. I have a very high opinion of that Grand Hosmerum dude, a guy with like 800 games of Tinker and like a 90% win rate.
Disgusting.
I'm a big fan of his. Like every week, he like owns it. It like makes no sense. Like his team loses horribly, and he'll just like crush. So I want to see him. I want to see him play a good mid laner.
I scrimmed them. It was not. Yeah.
Did you play as Tinker?
We just banned his Tinker. That's all you have to do. Versus, it's like I'd say his Tinker is probably pretty good, but like. I don't know. I played against his OD and Storm. And OD he was 2 levels behind me, and Storm he was 2 levels behind me, both games. So I don't know.
It's a tough standard to live up to, I'd say.
Maybe his Tinker's good. I don't know, man. I haven't played his Tinker.
On a funny different note, though, the current most successful team in the division is Anthony Fontano here, captained by Huncho. His mid laner is Seville. What are your thoughts on Seville?
Let's talk about loaded questions.
I wanna play Seville, but at the same time, the last time I played Seville, I killed him 9 times in 10 minutes, sniper versus puck. So I don't know what he's done.
I'm pretty sure if we've learned anything, it's that sniper wins every mid matchup, regardless of ability. So
that hero is so.
Is there any hero in the RD2L better for mid lane right now than Sniper?
I mean, he just wins pretty much every single lane.
Even Riles can win with that hero, so the hero's clearly good.
I've literally, out of the last 2 seasons, well, this including, I guess, this season and last season, I've lost 4 games, and I think 3 of them were to Sniper. And one of them was to Deserted Qual.
How to beat Dark Dota, mid Sniper, every game.
No, that hero's permabanned every single game. There's no way I'm ever playing against a Sniper again. That's all I'm saying.
The hero's not fun to play against, honestly.
But on the note of Seville, I think what Redondo said a while ago. Most of the time, he's not very good, but every once in a while, he has that game where you're like, "Oh shit!" and then he goes back to normalcy.
He had that game too this week. He was like 14-3 on Shadowfiend. Because I had a bye, so I didn't have anything to do on Sunday night. So I was watching some games, and I randomly tuned into his game, and he was like 14-3 on Shadowfiend, and the rest of his team was doing horrible, and he was solo carrying. And he's capable of that,
It's evil Dota, dude. When he's confident,
evil Dota.
He's never really that confident.
Yeah, that's true.
But when he is, maybe different.
Once every 3-ish weeks, you will have that game.
I have a different topic to parlay over to, though. It's a very, I'm not going to call it a very current topic, but it's a very interesting topic, and it is actually villains in the RD2L. I'd like to ask you, Redondo, what are your thoughts on what is a villain in this division? How do you define a villain?
I think it's a team that you think is super stacked, that's you always want to see lose. Or a particular player who you think has a pretty high opinion of themselves, and you don't agree with them as much.
So does that make Dark a villain?
No, I think Dark's really good. Dark's a villain absolutely because he went 16-0 last season, and obviously that paints a big target on your back. Whenever you win a division or crush, you're always going to root against that team. So yes. I think using that same logic, my other villain would be Riles, because you don't want to see. It's tough to see someone come in and just crush everyone else and not really be contested in doing that. And it was really nice to see a local 4K player, some Ox Zam, take him down in the mid lane. So ESC Sunday Grown. Hit him with the Zeus or whatever the fuck he played.
I feel like I got the villain role. My Discord, what I say in Discord should not be taken in any remotely seriously at all. I literally half the time I just at somebody and say a random insult. That's all. That's literally what I do in Discord all day, or when I'm at work. Mostly at work, I just sit in Discord and try to stir shit just to be entertained. That's literally, I don't know.
I feel you, because last night I was literally bored in class trying to start shits. It's pretty entertaining sometimes,
It is very entertaining, especially ESC Sunday is even more entertaining than RE2L main, because people actually get mad at you when you do it. But I don't know.
I said last week that your Discord persona is not equivalent to your actual persona, so give you the benefit of the doubt. But I still think it's nice. It's nice when you lose once. I gotta keep the ego in check.
Gotta keep the ego in check.
Make sure Dr. Zoidberg feels better.
On another note, though, somebody who may have lost their status as villain, because there's one little caveat I want to say is I like to define villains and clowns as two different things. Villains and clowns kind of act in a very similar way, but the villains actually win. So let me ask you, is Nifm still a villain?
Yes.
Dude, oh my god. That was one of the funniest things, is when Nifm lost to Logical in the 1v1 and just was like, I'm going to EST Monday, guys, see you later. And just left Discord, and comes back 2 days later, is sorry guys.
Yeah, they're my bad.
I'm saying it's
funny. I think he is. I think he's very outspoken about how good he is, and a lot of the times I think he backs it up. But still, I think if you go into a random game and you don't really know anyone on either side, or you don't have a really good friend that you're rooting for or rooting against, then I typically at least, I root against that team, but it's probably more because of Donner. What do you think, Badger? Who is your villain? As a new EST Sunday player, who have you targeted?
Dude, my
coming from the villainous team, who do you root against?
I mean, I root against the other really good teams in the division that I don't want to play. I want to play Dark's team, so I don't see them do well. I don't really want to play, funnily enough, Yak's team because Shade Doctor is going to eviscerate me, so I root for the teams with bad offlane players. So at this point,
I
I just want to see my own team be good because we are the villains. To be honest, we have Mr. EST Monday Overlord who won last season, shit talking everyone all the time.
Yes, I agree.
I root against all sniper pickers, I think.
So basically, you root against every single team in the RD2L but yourself.
Sniper pickers and Shadow Shaman pickers.
That's every single team, dude.
Yeah, every single one.
You were saying something, Redondo?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's enough like villain type players that I can think of. Like, I think everyone generally gets along. Like, I think the 3 listed are just like outspoken mid players more than anything else. Like, I don't think any of them are bad people. It's just like when you're really good at the really like tension heavy lane, like that like is very. If I do really well, I can solo carry by myself, and I know that. Like, I think it makes a lot of people want to root against them.
Well, there's the confidence thing too.
Yeah,
every mid laner needs to be confident going into like a mid matchup, or else they're just gonna lose, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of comes with the gig, I guess.
Well, if we're going away from outspoken middle lane players and moving to an outspoken other position player, is Love's a villain?
No.
I think he's just an immature kid.
I think to be a villain, you need to be like the focus of a team, and I don't think a team functions around Loves. You know, like I think he's like their 4th best player or whatever. And, like, you know, no one's gonna like send supports to Loves' lane because I mean, first of all, he's playing support, but you know, like it's just.
That said, though, we have touched on some pretty interesting topics, but now we need to move into the last week of Dota 2. Is there any... I mean, I posted 4 series before that I want to discuss. Redondo, choose a series. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I was just going to go into my most favorite series of the week, you losing again.
Oh, no. Okay, let's talk.
I'll let you two... dive right in.
Let's dive into game number 1. Well, game number 1 first. What are your thoughts on game number 1 between Zamoxis and
Riles Sniper?
So Badger, when you were selecting Sniper, what were you thinking? What was going through your head?
See, I don't make the drafting decisions. I just like to not stir shit. I have my captain pick things. He says he wants to pick Sniper. I let him pick Sniper. He wants to pick me Safe Flame Void. He just picks Safe Flame Voids. When he was talking about Sniper, it's like, alright, it's a pretty good pick. Let's go with Sniper. And that was about it. I knew we were evil, but we were evil going into that game before we picked Sniper. It's fine.
Do you think Riles was scared of Zan mid and therefore wanted to lean on the crutch that was the Sniper pick?
Okay, we were actually talking about that. We have a little team channel in Riles' Discord, and I was emphasizing all week, this guy is a Sniper picker. He is going to pick Sniper. Do not give him Sniper. And we made sure to not give him Sniper, and I'm proud of this.
So you think he was afraid of the Sniper pick, is what you're telling me. So Riles was afraid of Zam's mid play, is what I'm gathering from this discussion.
You're funny. You're very, very funny. Dark, any thoughts on game number 1?
Sniper. LMAO.
I think
game for Riles Sniper. He sits. You're going even with him for the first 3 levels. You're having a great time, and all of a sudden he puts shrapnel down, and then can't stand it, and then you lose the lane. And you're like, oh.
I think on like a little more serious note, I think Zam kind of outdrafted himself with the 2nd pick overall anti-mage. And like, I don't know, I watched a lot of this game, and I felt that your draft actually made a lot of sense with as long as you can get out of like the laning and like really early game phase with Sniper or Terrorblade. Like, it felt like the Terrorblade was like hitting the tower, the Sniper was a little bit behind the Terrorblade hitting the tower, and then Clockwork and Doom were just standing in front dying, like absorbing damage and shit, and like it's really hard to push into as an enemy team. Like, I don't think the Phantom Lancer or the Anti-Mage could like actually do anything, because as soon as they jumped on one, the other one just kind of murdered them.
I don't know why they didn't ban Terrorblade if they were going to pick Phantom Lancer when they already did Anti-Mage. And as somebody who is a disgusting, outspoken Anti-Mage picker, I don't think there's ever a single time where you want the first phase Anti-Mage. I've probably tried 50 times, 60 times in my career. It doesn't work. You just lose. They run heroes at you, and then your hero doesn't do anything because you're anti-mage.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, he didn't have, like, considering that they got, like, pushed super fast, like, he had pretty good GPM, like, all things considered. It's just, like, it's so hard to do to, like, win from that position. Like, there's not a lot of damage coming up from this team. Go ahead.
Just picking AM in 2018. That hero was so bad. Pretty much in every single game. I was in my scrim, I think yesterday or the day before. We were playing against a Darkseer. Actually, let me pull up this game. It was the best anti-mage game I've ever seen, and I still didn't pick Still didn't tell him to pick anti-mage. Actually, how the hell do you find your games on this new profile?
I don't know. It's so like I was like super confused. Like it looks like a Facebook page now. I have like 3 Twitter feeds or something.
Okay, this is the enemy lineup loading. The enemy lineup was classic Gaff Bane. You know, these heroes are taking so long to load.
I hate playing against Gaff Bane.
He came mid and he wouldn't even enfeeble me. You just sleep me off cooldown.
Oh, dude.
He just kept sleeping me over and over again. Yeah, okay. We were playing against Disruptor, Darkseer, Storm Spirit, Timbersaw. And I still didn't want to play it. We just picked Lycan.
That's the problem with Anti-Mage, is he just doesn't do anything. It's like, alright, all these heroes are bad against Anti-Mage on individual level, but the thing is, Anti-Mage isn't really countered by any one particular hero. It's just countered by having brain cells. You just run an Anti-Mage and he has no counterplay to whatever you do, unless you just dive his tower and die repeatedly.
Let's get on to the more exciting game, though.
Oh,
game 2.
Game 2, alright. Any thoughts on game number 2?
When you banned your own sniper pick, what were you thinking?
You gotta ask my captain, dude. I honestly don't really remember. I was just saying, hey, he's a sniper player. They have the first pick in the third, they have the 15th pick in the draft here. They're going to pick sniper. We should ban sniper. And we banned sniper.
Midas OD.
Alright, Riles was pretty tilted. He was like, alright, I need to get farm. I have 3 players on my team not farming. My Void is building a retarded diffusal first item. I just need to farm my creeps. And he farmed some creeps.
See that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like I think Terrorblade is in like a really, really good position right now, and I think that hero is just kind of like impossible to deal with, frankly.
I mean, that's my fault. I should have probably rotated with the team, called for like a smoke gank with potentially, say, Coop and Brown Ninja or like Coop and Watts. Smoke with them, use Chronosphere on an isolated Terrorblade, and then kill them, but we tried doing that maybe twice and it failed once, so we just started playing more defensively, and it just didn't work out for us very well.
Zeus is definitely the optimal RD12 hero, too, especially in Easty Sunday. You just like bolt the support, and then they lose half their HP, and they die, and then you're playing 4v5, and it's just Zeus, man.
Hey, Dark, is there ever a situation where you don't take the mini stun?
Yeah, Zeus? Okay. I was thinking the second I looked at this game, I was saying I don't think so. I don't know what his logic was. Just burst somebody faster, but that doesn't make any sense.
You don't cooldown. Yeah.
It's not like you'd have the cooldown again within the especially I'm looking at it now. He's playing against Void. That is like the perfect hero.
Don't you want the mini stun against Void? Like
you can stun someone for 1.5 seconds if you just place Nimbus. It bolts automatically. Then you bolt them again, and then Nimbus comes up and bolts them again. And you stun them for 1.5 seconds, and you can't time walk, and you should die. But
I still couldn't time walk though. I was just silenced by Night Stalker, and because I itemized like a Mongoloid, I still died to Zeus. Don't worry, he thought of that. He was like, all right. This enemy Void is going to build incorrectly, therefore I don't need to go for the mini stun. See, he's just a genius, dude. He's on some
even against like OD too, like so he can't astral. Oh.
Hey man, he won. I don't know. I'm just giving him shit because I know a lot of people give him shit, but I do think Nissan's better.
I don't think it's that significant, honestly, but it's pretty significant. But in this series, I don't think it was that significant. It's not like the end of the world. They didn't get it, obviously, or else you would have lost.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about the next game?
I would like to move away from the series. I'd be much happier in my life if I did that. So, let's move to the next good team who lost a game unexpectedly. Let's move to Dark Series.
Yes, let's discuss this not banning Lycan. So, what were you guys thinking there?
Okay, so my captain, he always has this set draft plan, and heavens me, I never look at it. And then I come back from the bathroom and I look at the screen and there's a Lycan first pick, and I'm like, oh god. So at that point, I already knew something was going wrong. And then they second pick Shadow Shaman, and like, oh god. But bless his heart, he didn't know. We actually held out for a surprisingly long time, considering what we were playing against. I think, I feel like we were pretty heavily outdrafted. Like, we had a Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, I don't think that hero was very good.
We could have picked Sven last pick. But for some reason, we picked Phantom Assassin instead. If we had a Sven this draft, I think we had a much better chance of winning. Because that hero actually is pretty good against Lycan, I think. So you can deal with all the summons and you can actually kill him. And it's good against Sniper too. But I actually, as far as in my head, I was still thinking I could just snowball and win, and it'll be fine because I'm playing Shadow Fiend. This hero's broken. And then about 2 minutes in, Shadow Shaman gets a haste rune and comes in with Clock and kills me. And then Clock walks top at like 6 minutes and gets another haste rune and comes in and kills me again. And then Sniper gets a DD and kills me again, and I'm 0-3, and I just... At that point, I was just farming.
Yeah.
At this point, and like my item times weren't even that bad considering. Like, I was pretty farmed that game, but at that point, it was just Sniper had a lot of farm and sort of Lycan, and
yeah, that's rough.
It's tough to kill anybody when there's an Abaddon on the team who's super rich. We lost all 3 lanes versus a Lycan lineup, and we somehow held out for 44 minutes, so honestly proud of that. And of course Nutty Pizza was 2-12, unfortunately. Was not having a great game.
Not the best game.
Let's move to game number 2 though, because game number 2 is actually looking quite bad for you guys early on. You guys were kind of snowballing in the wrong direction. You guys weren't really grouping properly. How did it feel making that comeback?
One point real quick. I'd like to make a shout out to Nugget Nick's clock performance. The first game he went 7-2-24, and he's normally a carry player. So just shout out to him.
Both games he played a very good clockwork.
Nugget Nick, God.
I just don't know what to call him though, because he was Sticky Stanley on the draft
Sticky
sheet,
Stanley and Godric Greg somewhere else.
And now he's Nugget Nick. He's just going for some alliteration right now, just changing his name all the time, I guess. But
all weed related, marijuana. Devil's latest Daniel right there.
But when it comes to game number 2, you guys are back against the walls, even down by how much were you guys down by? Around 6k gold in game number 2. What did you say to your team to help raise the morale and get together a win there?
I just kept saying alright, so what happened was I actually only lane I was focused on was mid lane, and I kept seeing my Monkey King dying top over and over and over again, and then kept seeing poor Nutty Pizza just every like 1 minute he's like, oh god damn it, I'm dead again. And he just kept dying. And both lanes were just dying uncontrollably. And all I'm thinking is, alright, I'm owning this Medusa. I'm just gonna get Orchid, maybe make some good rotations, and then get the team morale back up here. And eventually, like, they got 5-man wiped, just dying one by one to me over and over again, and I don't know what that was about. But then my Monkey King, after he stopped dying to Clockwork, just got his 20-minute Battle Fury, and then he had a 26-minute SNY, because we took like a crazy Roche fight, and then at that point, they have single core Medusa, and the Razor has a Shadow Blade, so we were sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's probably a good feeling when that Razor goes Shadow Blade.
He also tried to gank me mid at like level 4, and he just died. I don't know what was going on.
I remember that. I was casting that with Riles and auto attacks. We had some fun with that one. That said,
and then he tried shadow emulating mid. I don't know what's going on. He was doing some crazy shit that game.
Do you remember the Nutty Pizza Ravage around?
Yeah, I remember the So the story about that is, I guess I could take blame for that because I saw 2 heroes at like no HP, and I'm like, just ravage them and you'll kill 2 people. And then like a full 30 seconds later, he turns around and just starts walking into them, and I'm like, oh god, no, don't do it. And he just does it anyways and just ravages, and they're both hiding in the trees, and then he dies. At that point, it was looking pretty grim, but then they all died one by one, so it was good. It's all good.
I submitted that clip to the Place of the Week with Loves. I really hope it's on there. I really do.
Poor Nutty Pizza, man. He keeps asking me for offlane advice. It's definitely not the person to ask.
Tell him to play Tiny.
It's like every time he tries to pull, he always dies, and so sad, man. He's losing hope on the offlane pull. He doesn't understand.
I noticed he goes like boots.
He's tried everything, man. I don't even know how he dies sometimes. It just he's just like in his trees and sad. He's in his trees next to his tier 2 and he's trapped by creeps, and then he dies to the creeps, and I'm like, what? He's a nice guy though, and he's trying his best. So that's all I can ask for.
If it makes you feel any better, despite feuding in both games, you still almost topped the fantasy for offlane players. So that's still something. Still remains one of the most valuable fantasy picks. But moving into another series of the week, let's talk about Yak versus Ricers. See, finding Shade Doctor is another one of those teams which people have very high opinions of. I know Mr. Redondo over here thought they would win 2-0 to end up 4-0. And they lost. What happened in that series, Redondo?
It appears that literally everyone had a bad game except for Shay, who had an okay game by his standards. Game 1, and Ricers kind of just crushed them. I don't know. I actually didn't watch a lot of this game because I just assumed that they were going to win pretty handily. I think they didn't listen to me, and they did not ban the Boog Naga, which is a mistake that they remedied in Game 2 when they first faced.
So that's their fault for not reading your contents.
No, man, I mentioned it. I mentioned it here. I might have written it too. I know I mentioned it here. I was like, you gotta ban Boogs, Naga, and his First Spirit now. It seems super hard to ban against because you need to ban Huskar as well. So like you let
Go ahead. It's a Naga Disruptor Tidehunter.
Yeah, like they just picked some like ridiculous thing, like some ridiculous combo because like Stephen Morrison's pretty good at Disruptor, and then they put ET on like Medusa or Sniper.
Medusa.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying like something like dumb. If I hit enough creeps, I win the game here.
Medusa.
Now that oh, you go.
Nah, you.
All right. Oh, I know this is after the season or whatever, me, Jakku, Hitagi, but we had the circle strat where you literally we would pick Phoenix or like some other team fight ult, and we just pick a bunch of other heroes with like circular AoE team fight ults, and that's all we would do every single week. And this is the recipe for success in RD12.
So
it's like
you just pick.
They got Naga Siren,
Naga Puck.
Yeah, Naga Siren's got a circle, Disruptor's got a circle. Tidehunter's got a circle. Jug spins, he's got a circle. It's just circular drafts. Seems
wow.
Day.
This is
what I'm saying, man.
This is some insider information into Jakku's brain, and I'm not sure I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I mean, honestly, Jakku also suggests some absolutely retarded hero for mid every single game.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can see with his team now, he's just picking. He's got free reign over the picking phase. And it's a nightmare, truly.
He's been picking some weird stuff, man. He really has.
Do you not see yourself playing mid Nyx against Shadowfiend one day, Dark? You don't like that matchup?
I mean, you can pick. Yeah, go ahead, man. Pick mid Nyx against Shadowfiend. Seems like a good. Seems good.
Yeah, they actually ended up winning game number 2, though, despite dropping game number 1. They gave Shay Enigma this time, and he had a good game. As did pretty much the entire team.
Yeah, Lucas, Gohan, 22, 3, and 16 on OD. Never in doubt. Yeah, they just keep picking Yak Razor. Like, I think he needs kind of expand his hero pool if it seems going to be successful, or like play Razor better.
Yeah, Razor OD versus Sniper is not. Wait, am I seeing this right? Score 7 and 17.
Yeah, he was like 0 and like 20. It was so bad.
Oof, that's. I actually didn't look very closely at the stat lines. I'm like, all right, OD went off. Shay's a good player. They won Dota. I didn't actually see the 7-17. That's pretty rough for there.
Yeah, he
they just had no way to deal with. They had no way to deal with Sniper, and that's like they have Clock, and they really don't have any follow up unless he gets Black Hold after Clock hooks in. There's like no way to kill that hero in this game.
Yeah. It was a good Sniper game. It's just I don't know, like go on, just kind of like jumped in and killed everyone because the Oscar was so far behind.
Speaking of another series, though, that happened last week, let's talk about the, we're just going to call it the LTH series. Let's talk about game number 2, because game number 1, because game number 1 had a very, we're going to call it peculiar incidents. Actually, not game number 1, game number 2, sorry. It's a 25,000 gold throw. What is your thoughts on a team that just threw, the exact number, 29,400 gold? What actually happened in that game?
They didn't ban Pudge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to ban Pudge against this guy. He's like a top 1,000 player or whatever. Like Wubba had his best game in 3 seasons against them as Wind Ranger. I don't know what happened. Like,
LTH just hasn't perfected his 1v5 farm all game strategy yet. He almost did it. He almost got the 2-0, but then he just couldn't pull off the high ground versus Pudge.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he got hooked and then or swapped. Like maybe he got swapped into hooked and then just died.
They have good tools. What are your guys' thoughts on Soul Coke to a pregnant girl?
I actually have no fucking clue, dude.
I have no idea. Like the team won without him and like crushed, and then lost with him. And he's buying wards over Tazdu 99, who is probably worse than him.
There's just a chance. I mean, he is a
possibly
3 is a chance, but
possibly worse than the Divine 5 player.
Like people were talking about him during the draft. Like, why is this guy slipping so far? And I think he ended up slipping like 14 or something. And then
he got picked like 17. I think the thing is that like no one knew he was there. Like I think people scrolled down their draft sheet to like look, and then no one actually scrolled back up, which actually happens sometimes. Like when you get into the later rounds, is you keep like look for a bunch of sleeper picks. Like if you're like 10 picks away or something, and then you like go back and you don't realize that someone 5 picks ahead of where you were picking actually wasn't drafted yet. So.
Yeah, that's how we got Hef Dogs. Actually, like we should not have Hef Dogs.
Yeah,
and the problem is he doesn't like actually fit our team system. This is a guy who plays like carry and offlane, and it's going to be hard for him to get like a roster spot over me or Watts. So I feel bad because this is a guy who is a starter caliber player in the RD2L, either as an alright carry or an alright support player. And every other team in the draft, the other 26 teams, just forgot to draft him. So I feel bad for him.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure that's the guy who has like 0 games played in like 6 months, right?
He's alive though. He just doesn't have it public on Dota Buff. Like,
that's his fault.
See, we took the risk, and we got a high quality player who unfortunately we just can't play.
So, yeah. So shout out to Wubba for sticking to it. I know there's a lot of haters out there who don't think he's very good, but 16, 6, and 15 as Wind Ranger, who I'm pretty sure is dog shit. So good for him.
Hero. I'll pick that hero.
The hero's bad.
Alright, that was pretty interesting last week. I'm going to call this next segment next week, despite it actually being 2 weeks from now. I actually do want to talk about some of the matchups, though, in the next week. So, first off, I want to start with my series, the Riles versus Auto Attack series. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, Dark, you obviously know our team's pretty good, and you just played against Auto Attacks. What are your thoughts on this matchup coming up next play week?
I think Auto Attack's team is actually, like, sneakily pretty good. So they get this, like, hear me out. They have a 5.6k party offlane, who probably plays closer to that than what his solo was, like 4.8 or whatever.
Yeah.
He's a monster,
so he's pretty good. And then they have Zoidberg, who's like 4.5k. And I'd say he's probably like a 4.5k mid player, which is like decent, especially for EST Sunday. And then their carry's like also 4.5k too, so they have like a 5k and two 4k cores. And then their supports, this Nugget Nick guy, is coming out of left field with the godly clockwork. So I don't know, that team looks pretty good, but should be a 2-0, right, for
The
you
problem
guys,
is-
I would think.
I was talking
Bad
about
sniper.
this team last week, actually. We were talking about playoff teams, and I was like, these guys are actually a sleeper playoff team. That's like 5th or 6th type seed. I was hyping up auto attacks, saying Dr. Zoidberg is pretty good. Next week, it's like, alright, we're now seeded into these guys. Yay! I'm going to eat my own words. Like, no matter what, either I eat my own words because they beat us and we don't do well, or I eat my words because we beat them and suddenly they look worse than they're supposed to. So no matter what, I lose here.
That's never a
Let's
bad
do
thing,
1-1.
honestly. I think the team got a lot better when they swapped out Hydro SK and picked up the Press F for Little Pete, like the carry player. I don't remember what his name changed to right now, but he's been pretty good in all the games that he's played. So, like, I had a pretty low opinion of the team when I first saw them because they had Hydro instead of this guy, but with the free agent ad, I think that's like makes the team a lot better.
As long as he stops buying Shadow Blade on Razor.
Yeah, or using Shadow Amulet in the mid lane while his ultimate's going. It's maybe not the best play.
Next level strategies, yeah.
Speaking of the current top-rated team in the division, though, Anthony Fontano here, they're playing Finding Shea Doctor. Pretty exciting matchup. Thoughts on that one?
I think they're going to get shit
Sure,
on.
ET God's gonna pull out the sniper / Medusa once again. And then, there you go. Right clicks the entire game. I mean, ET's, he's been asking me for mid tips a lot. He's definitely trying to become a good mid player. So, I got faith in him. He definitely seems to improve quite quickly. Comparative to some of the other people I know. Going from, obviously, the story of ET only playing ET to playing mid in RD12 that you constantly remind him about Redondo. It's just so
I
beautiful.
gotta make sure he remembers his roots. No, but this is the game. It's a Seevil. This is Seevil against Yak, not ET.
Oh,
Yeah, ET lost.
Huncho. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought different Ricers versus Huncho. Never mind.
No, this is the Seevil stack. So I think I don't know. I think Yak seems really good. I've talked about it a lot. I don't know how good Huncho's team is. I think like that trickster lad has had like a pretty good couple weeks in a row, but I don't know. I really like Yak's team, and I think they're going to be better. What do you think, Badger?
I mean, I think they're an overall solid team, but the problem is I'm somewhat skeptical about these teams where the absolute best player is their offlaner. And there's a couple of these teams in the division. I mean, your team, Alpaca's team, Auto Attack's team.
Huncho Jack's team?
Oh yeah. I absolutely.
Right?
I'm not Huncho. Oh yeah, because Alpaca's on Huncho Jack's team. Like, these are a bunch of offlaners where they're probably the best overall player on their team, and it just seems as though it might cause some problems in the late game where if you don't have solid mid/carry players, then you might run into problems then.
Yeah, the thing about being like a higher pick offline player is it's so like you force your team to play a certain way, or else the enemy team just puts a tri-lane against you, and then like they're bound to have a better player in one of the other lanes because it's their first round pick, who should theoretically be the other best player on their team, and they can be successful while you can't. And it makes it really, really hard to be a first round pick offline player. Especially personally with my style. I know I just like kind of die a lot. Like play very sacrificial so that my team can be successful.
Speaking of you though, your next week matchup, it's not the matchup between two of the top teams in the division, but it's you guys up against Malachi. What are your thoughts on your own matchup coming up?
Yeah, it's a matchup of the two bottom teams, so I'm looking forward to actually playing Dota in like 14 days, so that'll be fun. I think Malachi's team's in a little bit of disarray, I'll say, because they're like swapping roles and stuff, so...
Wait, who's the mid player for Yak's team?
Gohan, Lucas.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think X.
I think like
he's on my fantasy team.
Probably go even versus like say 4K mids, like either low 4K to mid 4K mids. But I think anything above that, if he starts losing lane really hard, he's just gonna like crumble. Probably. This is my experience with Siebel. We'll see. Maybe he'll impress me.
Yeah. You never know. You never know with Siebel. Like sometimes
turn on. What's that anime song? The Eternal Envy. Crumbling. Yeah.
I don't know. I have a confession. I actually have played that song before. Because I've tried to play EE type heroes, and I feel like a terrible person for doing it. To be honest.
No comment. Moving right along from that little fact.
All right, moving to
my team. my team. Yeah, I don't know. I think my team hasn't scrimmed a lot in the last week. It's probably my fault. I've been a little busy with stuff just because, like doing the PvP on Monday, and then I go on Tuesday, and yada yada yada. So hopefully my team's practicing in their pubs and whatnot. I'm gonna pick offlane Tiny against them, so we should win 2-0. If they ban Tiny, we're probably going to lose 0-2. So I think it really hinges on that.
Moving into another one of the actual good games of the week, though, it's going to be you guys, Dark, the Nutty Buddies 2.0 up against the geographically challenged team with Love.
I can't lose to Love. There's like a pathological need that I can't lose to. It was like last season. There's no way I can lose to Mr. Matty, dude. Because I've never lost to Mr. Matty, and I'm going to try so hard to beat Mr. Matty in playoffs. There's just no way I lose to him. The same thing with Love Muffins. If I ever lose to him, I'm never going to hear the end of it, so I can't, or else it's all going to fall apart. That's my thoughts. This Mikkel guy.
Would you say that he will be crumbling?
He won't stop me from beating Love's Muffins. There's no way. That's what it is.
What's your game plan for?
I can go 0-5 in lane, dude. I'm gonna put on crumbling, and I'm gonna come back into the game easy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, if I could actually watch a game or just like watch a laning stage, it would be this game though, because I want to see. Like, I don't know how good the Michael dude is, so I think this would be a pretty good litmus test for seeing how good he is. Like, I've actually never seen him play a game of Dota, so. What do you think's going to win better?
I mean, on paper it should be the Nutty Buddies 2.0. They've got Dark. They're actually good at Dota, but they have the X Factor. They have a European and a Peruvian. This is some literal X Factor Dota right here, so it's... I'm between 2-0 and 1-1. It's a little...
Yeah, I don't think Dark's team is going to get 0-2. I think Dark has or Nutty Pizza has a much better chance of 2-0ing. But I thought about it for a while, and I think 1-1 is my choice. I think Dark's going to get sniped one good.
No, he was being first paid banned every series from now on.
Ay. That said, though,
after this, people are actually going to start first picking sniper against me.
I know, I'm looking forward to it.
Just ban Sniper every single game. It's simple. Just yell at Nutty Pizza every single draft. If you do not ban Sniper, I will leave this team. And it's literally holding your team hostage because you can't leave that team. They're also going to lose every single game. So just tell them that, and Sniper will get bans.
True.
That said, though, just moving into general postseason type stuff. I honestly talked with Redondo about this last week, but Dark, who do you think are some of the best teams coming into a potential playoff picture, even though we are only 2 weeks in so far?
Well, there's the obvious, my team and your team, I think. Those would be most people's picks.
Who's the number 3 team?
I'm going to go with ET's team. ET God. Going to bring his team to a playoff run here, I'm pretty sure. And then I'd probably say fourth is probably the Axe Doctor team, I think. And then probably Auto Attacks. I guess the Mikkel Loves Muffins team is probably pretty good. The only reason I'm discounting is because it has Love Muffins on the team, so
have
I can't
Ruby
imagine him
now,
ever
at
winning a
least.
game.
They no longer have the Loves plus Venom relationship.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe that. I'm just gonna call it a tsundere relationship and move on. But what are your thoughts on the Waifu Hunters team with Mina/Velvet's Subject? Those guys. You think they have a chance to go playoffs or no?
I mean, obviously Mina's pretty good. And then I played the subject guy. I don't really. He's the Reddit guy or whatever his name was. Right?
No. There's the Reddit guy is the carrier player. There's another guy named Subject who's like Divine 5 off.
Oh yeah, the offlaner.
Yeah,
I played against him.
Pango every day.
Yeah, he's a Pango spammer, right? I don't know. He kept trying to pull the creep wave over and over again when I played against him. He picks Pango.
Can't really judge Pango players on their skill.
-5 stars for picking Pango.
At least.
I do want to talk about two guys you played with last season, though. What are your thoughts on Hitagi's team?
That is definitely the 1v5 team, to be sure. The Hitagi either 1v5s or they lose, is what usually happens. Artie Boy, I've seen some questionable things, to say the least. But at the same time, I've seen some games where he's done well. So
right. I think Artie Boy is very feast or famine. I will make a point that I believe Artie Boy has played the only sniper that Dark has managed to beat in the lane.
Yeah, he jungled at level 3 though, so I don't know.
I think it still counts as a win if the sniper jungles from the mid lane. So
you take those.
Artie Boy's like he'll have games where he's just like kind of meh, and then like every now and then he'll have a game where it's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing on certain heroes. He'll do what's right. Like he'll take over a game. I think he's pretty inconsistent in doing that. I think obviously I have a very high opinion of Hitagi as a carry player. So
speaking
and
about your other
Jakku's team.
Oh, nice, good prediction.
Jakku's team. I honestly have no idea. He just plays like Nyx mid and like DK, and then he just runs around and they all beat their chests and play like apes. And they're definitely going to be able to like take games off better teams than them, I think, just because of the way they play, from what I've seen, anyways. So I think that if they do make playoffs, it'll be like very close, you know, like it'll be like a tiebreaker situation or something like that. Is what my opinion is, but who knows? Jakku is obviously he's pretty valued for his MMR in pretty much every sense of the word. He's like a drafter, plays quite well, and he plays a lot of different heroes. He's quite eccentric about what he wants to play and stuff. So it's just the rest of the team that I'm not quite sure about. And Patience is obviously like pretty high tier support for EST Sunday, but then that's your first pick, and then where do you go from there? No, I don't know.
You don't believe in I believe? Carry Abaddon specialist, I believe.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's definitely a nice Jakku safe laner hero, though.
It's like the perfect player for Jakku to get. Someone who plays safe lane Abaddon. Like
safe lane Abaddon, safe lane Ricky. Just put him on a random hero. He'll perform some
optimal chest beating heroes for sure.
Yeah, Jakku's team definitely apes around a lot, I'd say.
Alright, though, first, we're now going to move into everyone's favorite segments, Twitch chat questions. There's a very pressing issue, actually, one that Mathieu had to address, and that is the Rice Boy / Goatel situation. What ended up happening, for those who are uninformed, is Goatel was missing one of his players, and as a result, they had an unapproved stand-in, that being a Rice Boy and I believe a Smurf playing for their team. As a result, Goatel got a formal warning, and Rice Boy, who was already banned, would have been banned, but he's already banned. So, what are your thoughts on this situation?
That's what happens when the team that deserved to have the bye doesn't get the bye. They cheat. They try to rig the game. On a serious note, it's really disappointing because like I think Rice Boy is really good. Captain last season, his team almost made playoffs despite like starting pretty poorly. He's a really nice guy. I played with him in pubs and stuff, and to see that he's smurfing on Goa Hitler's team or Goa Hittle or however the fuck you say his name it just sucks. Now I can't play next season, so like what are the odds that he's gonna stick around for the next season and a half and play like season 15 or whatever? So
feels bad, man.
Yeah, like it sucks. Like it really does. Like he's a really good player. I know I've talked highly about him in a lot of places, and like I'd still pub with him and everything. But just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Hey, Redondo, do you have any apologies for the people who put Rice Boy on their fantasy team thanks to you?
No, I put Rice Boy on my fantasy team, and he didn't fucking play for his own team. Like I'm an asshole. I am immensely disappointed in like general. Obviously, it also sucks that my fantasy team. I have yet to play a first-round pick who is actually played, so that's pretty disappointing, I'd say.
Do you have any thoughts here, Dark?
I mean, I don't know. You just kind of like they're gonna find out, man. It's not that difficult to. Oh, there's some random guy standing in. I wonder. That's the first thing you check. I wonder if he's a Smurf. And if you like look at his games and it's a low amount of games, like you're not gonna get away with that shit. So why even try?
Yeah,
like we're in RD12 to play for fun, right? So there's no point in trying to cheat. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like the account they play on had like 500 games total and like 0 games of Tinker ever, and hadn't played in like 3 months. And just like randomly, yeah, I'll stand up for your team, man. Just like the fuck, dude.
All right, Dark. What do you really think about Ark?
I mean, I don't really have. I've never really even talked to him, to be honest. So, I think he asked me for advice on like offlane play one time, and I gave him some advice on that. And then I'm memeing around in Discord, and all of a sudden I'm an elite as fuck. So, I don't know. He can think what he thinks if he wants. I don't. I'm not mad at him because I don't really get mad at people on the internet unless they're like Acer or somebody who just scream into the mic 24/7. But like from his Discord interactions, he seems like a fine guy. I just don't know why he all of a sudden decided that he hates me. That's it.
I have multiple questions about you specifically being an elitist fuck. What are your thoughts on this new Valve 6-month ban matchmaking policy?
I got reported the other day for buying Battle Fury on PL. Those are where most of my reports come from. Either that or I'm queuing with one of my friends, like M John or somebody, and he's flaming somebody, and they're like, by proxy, I get reported too. If I get a matchmaking ban because of that, then I'm fucking done. But there's no way I'm gonna get banned for being a toxic piece of shit, even though I am.
Yeah, what are we gonna do when like someone gets banned for 6 months and they like can't like? Do they have to sign up on that account? Do they have to sign up on a different account? It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I guess so. Huh? It's interesting. There must be like specific rules. Like if you could just get reported by the enemy for like communication abuse a bunch of times and you just get 6-month ban, that'd be the stupidest shit ever. Because I got reported the other day where somebody said "good luck, have fun" in all chat, like typed it out, and I jokingly, "go kill yourself," and he said muted and reported. Congratulations, my entire team has muted you before the game has even begun. That's quite the accomplishment. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! I just got 5 reports from this fucking game because I just one thing in all chat. Like, if I get banned for that, so help me God.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do when like some like streamer gets banned or something for getting. He's like, I can imagine just getting like Sing Sing or something. If he plays, he just gets reported, and all of a sudden his account has like a 6-month ban for just having like 50 reports every game. So just because people want to troll him, I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
On a related question, though, is there anything you are elite in outside of Dota?
I'm really good at being a cashier,
Nice.
and I guess I'm pretty good at school. That's about it. I don't want to. I don't want to brag about real life shit, because then I'm gonna seem even more like an elite as fuck. My grades in high school, dude. Yeah, my grades in high school. Whoa. Let me tell you about them. No, fuck, Jesus, man. Come on.
All right.
That's like a mic. That's like a mic question right there, Redondo. Where are you going with your life, Mike? Dude,
I know.
Classic.
Dark, what are your thoughts on who killed Captain Alex?
Everybody needs to see that movie. 100%.
Who killed the
I don't know. Do you guys know what? You know, it's Ugandan. It's a Ugandan-made movie, and the entire movie is in Ugandan, except for there's like a guy voicing over the movie in English, but like broken Ugandan English, and he just says random shit. Like they're in a fight scene, he'll just keep screaming, "The movie is on! The movie is on!" In Ugandan, I don't know. It's fucking crazy, dude. You gotta see it.
Who killed Captain Alex?
Yeah,
Alex.
Uganda's first action movie.
Alright.
The high quality movie, I gotta say.
Alright, I'm trying to figure out what question I should ask next, but I'll ask a couple D&D related questions. Redondo, why won't you join the RD2L D&D group?
I don't know, actually. That's something I've thought about doing, like, with friends in real life, but I don't know. I feel the thing is that I already kind of allocate a lot of my time to doing certain things, and I'd like to have more time to actually play Dota. Like, if you look at my Dota buff, like, my activity sucks now, and it's a little depressing. So I don't know if I want to take away another night to dedicate to that. Plus, I don't even know who's doing it. Are you doing that?
I haven't done it yet.
Are you guys playing Tiny, by the way?
I'm playing Tiny, yeah.
I might do Tiny, I'm not sure yet. That said, though, Dark, why are you so bad at D&D?
I'm bad at an RNG game. Feels bad, man.
This is Switch, yeah. They have their questions.
Sure, that was either JTK or Loves Muffin.
It was Loves Muffins.
Yeah, alright. Perfect.
That said, though, Dark, I have two questions about fighting. Who would win a fist fight between you and LTH?
Fuck.
Was that LTH who asked that question? LTH is a...
That might be a Jakku question.
What is he, like 5'2"? Come on. What do you think, dude? I'm 6'3". I'm a full foot taller than you, dude. Come on.
I feel like LTH would be a wily opponent.
He'd probably jump on my back.
A slippery fellow.
Speaking of people in fistfights with you, though, who would win in a best of 3 series? A 1v1 mid in Dota, a fistfight, and a decathlon between you and Riles, Dark?
I don't know what Riles looks like or his physical fitness at all, but I'm gonna assume since he's a Dota nerd. I have no idea. That's quite the question, I gotta say. 1v1, I hope to one day match the excellence that is Riles Dota in the mid lane.
You're boosting his ego so much, you know that's... said, though, what are your thoughts on the new in-house league? I mean, Redondo happens to be an admin. What are your thoughts on this new regional in-house league?
Nobody knows about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just sealed.
See, literally nothing. Who asked that question, Badger?
Let's scroll. It was Octane.
Really? Okay, so yeah, Octane. He was quizzed about it or interrogated about what his thoughts are. Like, the thing is that they asked me to come help, like, figure out how to get the Sunday people to play in this in-house league, and I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what? I will absolutely talk to you. I'll give you my thoughts. Yada yada yada. And like that was a couple of days ago, maybe like 3 or 4 days ago, and then yesterday I get on and I see that they're just like, okay, let's go live, people, and I'm like, you guys haven't changed anything. And they're like, oh, nope, we went live. And I'm like, okay. And like nothing was announced in the Sunday Discord. No one knows about it. Like they changed absolutely nothing except the name and the Discord channel. And they're like, why isn't it working? It's very frustrating.
Who knows, man? RE12 in-house is cancer, anyways.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like no one. They're just playing with the same like recycled player base over and over again, and like as they do that, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So
It's
like,
true.
there's like no new injection of players to like make the in-houses more fun. So, would you ever play an RD12 in-house Badger?
I mean, I have played some of the RD2L in-houses before the season, and a couple of them were pretty bad. I know Riles has been asking me to sign for the games that him and Devlisk have been in the in-houses, but I'll probably show up eventually.
Yeah, Devilisk is he set up the bot, so he's invested in trying to get it to work.
All I'm gonna say is bring back Rill. The days of the prime in-house must return.
Are there any other sleeper teams we think might do good other than the auto attacks team? Basically, are any other teams do we expect can be good that we haven't mentioned yet?
We Sim, I think, is much. I think that team's very underrated. Obviously, they lost Rice Boy, but I don't know if it's been officially announced anywhere. But they added OK, who was on Sunny's team.
As long as he stops playing Lena mid, sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I think like Wee's Wee's very good at Dota. I think Killer Karate is very good. It's probably going to be a bit of a broken record if you ask about underrated teams. Like I'm probably going to point them out all the time. I think they're very, very good.
Funnily enough, speaking about Killer Karate, is when is he going to interview any of us? We are people worth interviewing.
Hey man, he's been interviewing like the lesser known people, which I like actually appreciate. Like who the fuck like Vanilla Acoustic's one of the staples of EST Sunday. Like he's like I talked him up a lot, and like he was on the best team in the first season. And they made the playoffs, or they made the finals, and then like the second season he was on the third best team, with Zipper. And like now he's captaining and he's playing with his brother, and like no one fucking knows anything about him. So I know he just did another interview with Mina. Like, you know, some people don't know if he speaks English or not. So
he only talked in the what was it, the All-Star game.
Yeah, he actually spoke.
All he would say was like, "God damn it, guys, I'm lagging so much." He's playing block and he just keeps missing hooks and dying over and over again. It's pretty funny.
No, but like I think there's like a good niche for that, is to talk to the lesser known captains. Like I like that he's doing that, and I like that he's casting Monday games. I know he's trying to get better as a caster, so I know he's casting with Nabe now. He was casting with Melliflux, but I don't know if Mela got busy or something or whatever, but now it's Nabe, so we'll see how that goes. It's a good dude.
Alright, I have a particularly stupid question. It's directed to Dark, but I'm going to ask both of you. What are Coop's top 3 attributes, and why are you guys so threatened by his greatness?
Coop. I think I've played one game with him, and that was a game I went like 31-1 on Shadowfiend. I didn't even notice that he was there, I'm pretty sure. So, I'd say his ability to be invisible to me in particular is probably one of his greatest attributes. His physical strength and probably his dashing good looks as well.
I know he was in a frat, so I'm gonna go with his ability to consume alcohol as number 1. Number 2, I think he's actually one of the guys who's been really nice about sending me recipes. I think right now the thing he sent me is called the Ass Blaster Chili, which I have yet to try, so we'll see how that goes. And thirdly, I think he's a nice guy. I like talking to him.
I've had some pretty good I'm going to say I've had some pretty good close contact with Coop because we're on the same team. Number one attribute is he has that old person knowledge. Like, he knows things about beer, things about 401ks. He has all this wealth of old person knowledge just ready to give to me. He can mentor me about things that are valuable in life, He's a pretty nice guy. He's just a genuinely nice person, I think, and that's always fun to play with. And third, he's very good at getting yelled at by Riles in these games. Like, he never talks back when Riles yells at him because he knows that.
He knows his place after picking Unity 2 seasons in a row. He knows to listen to the 6K mid player.
I think Unity's a little bit more reserved. However,
obviously,
Riles is not reserved. Let's put it that way. That said, though, another question which me and Redondo actually answered it last week, but Dark, should Timbersaw be buffed?
I mean, I'm all for Timbersaw buffs, man. I love that hero. I can never win with that hero because I always go like 20-1 and then just lose because I can't kill buildings. And then they give him like this 100 damage talent. And they're like, oh, this is gonna be the talent that changes everything.
The problem solver.
And then I win it in a game, and you're just fucking Timbersaw still. You have 100 damage.
I have a question.
You have an ult that disarms yourself.
How much would they need to buff that 100 damage talents to make it worth getting on Timbersaw? How much damage would it need to be?
I think if it was 150, I would get it. Just because.
What's the other talent? I don't fucking play
five re-arced armor stacks.
Like 350 damage, then I'd get it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes in some games you can't really get it. The reactive armor stacks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you gotta try like some other things. Like if you go like Meteor Hammer or something on that hero, just like something retarded that helps you actually hit buildings. Like I know MSS was doing he's doing Blightstone like really early in the game, just so that way when he hit level 7 and he had max reactive armor stacks, he could hit the tower and like the creeps dealt more damage. I think you have to get creative with his item build like that if you're doing well, obviously.
Also, Loves Muffins, you need to fucking use your spells to last hit creeps. And every time you link me a Dota buff game of you playing Timbersaw, you have 100 CS at 30 minutes. You're like, why did I lose? I was 10-0! And then I look and you died like 7 times. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say.
Speaking of Meteor Hammer, though, what is the place of Meteor Hammer now that it actually has gotten a pretty significant cooldown buff?
Well, on the heroes that can actually use it, it's good enough. Like, it was kind of like on Naga, like that frame perfect song end thing that you can do where you channel Meteor Hammer is like really. It's pretty strong before, and now you can use that, and then you can also use it for building pushing instead of just having to wait for next song. Well,
yeah,
because it has like no cooldown.
Yeah, I think the item's still pretty bad, obviously, but I'd say I know Crit got it on Nyx Assassin, and I was like, that looks fucking dog shit, and it was dog shit. But if you could get it like 3rd or 4th on a support hero, I think it was actually like not that bad because you can one hit creep waves with it, which I didn't know actually. I didn't know that it killed the melee creep, but it does. So you can like randomly go cut waves as like some mid-miss hero. Like if you got it on like Bounty Hunter or something retarded, where you can just like play the map game really well. Maybe it's good. Maybe.
What item do you think is better, Redondo? Kaya or Meteor Hammer?
I'd say Kaya's better.
Just making sure. I was pretty sure you'd say Kaya, but I just want to double check.
Thanks. Kaya is the better item.
I mean, I can actually buy Kaya on here and not be a meme, like Puck and Storm Spirit. Whereas every hero you buy fucking Meteor Hammer on becomes a meme.
Yeah, I played with Ellen Pudge on when he was playing Clockwork. He'd always go Meteor Hammer. I always thought it was hilarious.
Oh, dude, we were playing in a ability draft game last night, and Verve went got Global TP, Diabolic Edict, and Meteor Hammer. He would TP into the trees behind towers, and like Meteor Hammer and Diabolic Edict. That was the best use of Meteor Hammer I've seen.
Oy. Thoughts on Roaming Alchemist?
Go ahead. You take that one.
Yeah, go for it, man. If you really, I saw LTH try it with the legendary Tidehunter Alchemist dual lane, and then he got Grievel's Greed first to get both runes, and then he just did nothing for like the first 5 minutes because he didn't have stun, and all he had was Greed.
Yeah, I think
that's my opinions.
Yeah, I think the hero's just not good enough at team fighting to be a good support. Like, the thing about being good support is, like, you either have to start a fight or be very reactive. And because Alchemist has to charge up his stun, it makes it super fucking hard to be that hero. Like, you know, like Sand King's ult's like probably one of the hardest spells to use really, really well. And that's because you have to predict something without moving like 2.5 seconds in advance. Whereas with Alchemist, you need to predict something where you literally have a giant flashing number above your head that tells the enemy team when you're going to throw this. And you need to do that 5 seconds before you want to be useful. And if you do that poorly, your hero's dog shit as a support. You
stun yourself and then die.
Yeah. So I think it's like really hard to play support Alchemist well. Like maybe you roam around and you kill some people because you charge up your stun in the fucking woods and walk out and kill someone. But like past 15 minutes, I'm not really sure what you do.
That said, though, I'd like to thank both of you for coming on for episode 2 of the Badger and Redondo review. First off, anywhere dark? Is there anywhere on social media that you want the RDTL people to reach you?
Well, I don't have any fucking social media.
My
Twitter account is a barren wasteland.
Twitch.tv/AgonHeart, AGON Heart.
Oh yeah.
To watch
I actually do stream sometimes, every once in a while, and it's pretty exciting. You get to listen to K-pop the entire fucking time.
There you go.
So if you're into that, the 5 people in RD12 that I know that are into K-pop, tune in.
And then Redondo, and anywhere you want to be reached other than the PPP?
No, as always. And I would like, if you're looking for a streamer to watch, if you go to twitch.tv/style_Dota, he will be streaming matches from his point of view. He will be playing support against yours truly, and he will be getting hit by a tree.
That said, though, if you ever want to reach me, I am twitch.tv/BadgerPablo and twitter.com/BadgerDota2, no spaces. I'd like to thank all you for tuning in. Have a great night. Stay classy.